I want to tell the story real quick, and we quarreled over whether or not this was podcast worthy, and I say it is.
Okay.
Tell us about this Bridgeport show, because I think it's hilarious.
Connecticut?
Yes.
One of the worst cities in the planet.
It's you know, it's actually
maybe not
funny.
planet, but country.
After I did this gig, a little side note, I'm watching Family Guy, and Seth MacFarlane, I guess, makes a joke.
Yeah.
Saying how the cutaways, how shitty Bridgeport is.
Oh, right. Wow.
And then he turns to the camera and he goes, "What are you going to do? Write a letter?" And it gave me such satisfaction after. Let me tell the story of the gig.
Wow.
So these guys get in touch with me to do a gig, and it was like a Thursday night. It was pretty good money for like a one-nighter. So I was like, all right, easy to get to, train, they'll pick me up. They come to see me at Eastville Comedy Club in the city, and they see me have like an unbelievably good set because the crowd is just so hot. It's like one of those sets I'm like, I know if they're expecting this, it's not going to happen at their venue.
Yeah.
You know? They're already, I can tell, a little bit of a problem. They're all drunk. One of them keeps referring to himself as the muscle of the group, which I'm like, these are not my type of people, you know? If you're like the muscle. So the gig comes, they're like, come early, we'll get you pizza next door. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. We get pizza. There's a basketball game on. So I'm talking, you know, I love basketball. We're talking about basketball. And then the guy who refers to himself as the muscle of the group says, yeah, I mean, I just did a year in county for Sling and Clink. And I was like, what does that have to do with basketball? You know? And I was like, we were talking about basketball. He's like, oh yeah, I guess it does have nothing to do with basketball. And I was like, are you trying to fuck with me or something? I kind of said that. I was like, are you trying? I don't know what you're trying to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Sling and Clink.
Is that Coke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Clink is a word for jail.
No. I did a year in the Clink for Sling and Coke. I misspoke.
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
Sling and Clink.
Sling and Clink. He was dealing prisons.
Yeah.
And,
but that, which is a real thing.
No, but yeah. So I'm just like right at it again. I'm kind of like, who are these people? What, like, who am I dealing with? And I know I know it's like kind of like a real blue collar city. You know? So I go on.
That's, by the way, the nicest way to put it.
Yeah, I'm trying to be nice.
Shithole.
I would call Boston a blue collar city.
Well, Connecticut's a weird state like that, where like every 10 minutes you get like the nicest area in the country, and then the next 10 minutes away it's the worst area. It's just it's a weird area. It's
one of the richest states, but has 3 of the worst cities crime wise.
Yeah, I mean it's a strange state. So I do the gig. It's in a nice venue called the Bijou Theater, which is like a weird. It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those old theaters.
Yeah.
That is like they have old movies. They play like Casablanca there. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I love theaters like that.
Or Rear Window.
Yeah, I love it. So I go on stage. I'm already out of the gate, like 10 minutes in. I've been heckled every joke. This one guy, he is humongous. Like I can just tell by his upper body, he's gonna end my fucking life.
Yeah.
So I'm like delicately putting him down. I'm getting laughs, putting him down, like kind of like, and I'm trying to be subtle about it.
Yeah.
We're at like the 20-something minute mark, and he's still heckled. Like it's every joke.
Wow.
And I'm just like, dude. At this point, I just go, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut your fucking face. I'm like, people came out, they probably hired a babysitter. No one gives a shit about you. Stop talking. You're a fucking Neanderthal.
Yes.
And it gets to that point, he gets up, and I'm like, okay, he's bigger than I thought he was.
Oh,
like,
boy.
He had a big upper body. He's a big lower body, too. And he's like, starts walking toward the stage, and I'm like, God fucking damn it. Of course, this always happens in rooms that are not police, because no one's shushing him.
Right.
Right.
So he just keeps walking towards me, and he goes, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. And I'm just like, well, then I'm out of here. I'm speaking into the mic right now.
And how old is this guy? White guy, black guy, 40s?
He's a white guy. He just looks like a big meathead. He just looks like a guy who played football and kept working out.
So like in his 20s?
Yeah, late 20s, I would say.
Wow, all right.
And maybe early 30s, but he's huge.
Yeah.
And
what's his beef? He's just a dick.
He's just mad that I called him a Neanderthal, probably.
But before that, he's just a drunk moron.
But also, like, yeah, of course, he's awful.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you're not a dumb Neanderthal, are you really going to step up and be like, what did you fucking call me?
Right,
you know?
of course.
Yeah.
So he comes over to me, and he's trying to like get on the stage, and I have a cordless mic, so I go, okay, no one's going to do anything. I'm like looking around the room for someone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm not making enough to pay for medical bills, so I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. And they start booing me. The crowd's just booing me. Yeah. They might be booing the situation.
They're booing the situation.
Yeah.
I walk off. I have the mic with me. I'm in the green room.
Is he climbing on the stage?
Yeah, he's trying.
Oh,
he's trying.
God.
Yeah. Some woman runs back, and I guess another woman's like back. It's like great security. 2 women who are like with the same build as me, basically.
Right.
She's trying to barricade the door. This has actually happened to me a couple of times where people like try, and women always like coming to my aid.
Yeah. For some reason, you're a very controversial figure, and you're sweet as pie.
You know what though? It's like on stage you feel invincible, so you do shit on people.
Yeah.
It's a problem that comedians have. I've been talking about it.
But so I'm in the green room, and she walks up to me. She's like, "What do you think you're doing?" I was like, "I'm still have the mic in my hand." I'm like, "What am I doing?" I'm like, no one's policing the room. This is ridiculous. And she said, well, you can't. This is not acceptable. And I was like, have you ever done stand-up comedy? And she said, no. And I was like, have you ever been punched in the face? And she's like, no. I was like, well, then you're not qualified to tell me how to behave right now.
Yeah, I'm getting heckled nonstop.
Yeah. The crowd hears all of this, by the way, because I have the mic in my hand. So they're just like booing nonstop. The guy, it takes like 7 minutes or so, which is like the longest 7 minutes when people are booing you.
Yeah.
And then they finally, she understands. I go back out and I do like another 30 minutes. And it takes me a good 10 to get him on my side again.
Wait, where's the guy? Is he chained up now?
He's outside, and someone heckled me. He's waiting outside for you.
Jesus.
And I remember the biggest laugh I got. I was like, it's a classy gig when afterwards you got to plan an escape route.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Which I did. They were like, he really was waiting outside for me.
Wow. So somebody did kick him out.
Yeah. I guess people booed enough where they're like, you got to leave or he's not going to come back out.
A couple of girls.
Which is hilarious that like you come off as the bad guy because you don't want to fucking fight.
Yeah.
It's like, it also just shows how disrespected comedy is.
Yes.
Because like you think any politician ever has to deal with that? They're giving a speech.
Right.
And they're just like, please quiet down, please.
Yeah.
They have security to get rid of people.
Yeah.
To be fair, several politicians have been shot in the face.
That's true.
True.
But they were really good politicians.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's not usually like the low level people that people even care about.
Right.
And there is a Secret Service. They just dropped the ball.
Yeah.
We have no service.
No.
But
I just pictured this guy pacing outside, punching his palm like
he was ready
Bluto.
for me. Yeah, he was ready.
Oh my God!
And then they had
crazy.
to like sneak me out a back door, which also feels so degrading to be snuck out a back door to
Sure,
avoid a
sure.
fight. And I finished the gig. It was humiliating.
Did you jump in a car?
The guy whose gig it was super apologetic.
Oh, good.
He's the main. I mean, the non-muscle guy, the other guy.
Where the hell was the muscle?
The muscle dropped the ball.
Oh, yeah, the muscle should have been there.
He was slinging clink.
I actually asked him. I was like, you refer to yourself as the muscle, and you did nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's terrifying to me. I would never come back out again. I would have
think
ran while he was still in there.
They didn't say this, but I kind of did the math, and I think he was one of the muscle's friends.
Oh, that makes sense. Those muscles stick together.
Yeah, it was the other
Right,
muscle.
none of us have muscles.
Interesting. See, I have a weird thing in my head where when that shit happens, I gotta go out and talk to the guy. Like I would be like, "What is it, man? What's the problem?"
He didn't seem like the type of guy that really
Yeah.
cared about reason.
Sure.
No negotiating.
Yeah.